I got new books. I got new books. I got new books. Pow. Hi guys, welcome back to the Pretty Bookish channel, where we talk all things books all the time. My name is Kanya. Welcome back. If you are regular, welcome to the community. If you are brand new here, this is a channel where we talk all things books all the time, a little bit of other stuff, but mostly just books. So today, as you can see from the description, very excited. I'm gonna give you guys a random haul video. So I went to the exclusive books had another sale. They have a pop-up shop. I think it's in Eastgate Mall. I know because I actually had to drive there, so I don't know why I'm saying I think. They have a pop-up store in Eastgate Mall. I think there's another one in Kenilworth in Cape Town. So it's basically a pop-up store. So everything in the store is 30 Rand. You heard that right. 30 Rand for every single book in the store. So I was just like, when I saw this on Instagram, I was like, obviously I have to drive to Eastgate now, because this is, you guys know, if you're like a regular here, you know, but if you're new, I get a lot of my books from book sales. It's how I stock up my library. It's how I try new writers, and I experiment with different genres and different writers. Because the thing is, I have this theory, and it's not a theory, it's like practically a fact. If you have to go to exclusive books or bargain books or whatever bookstore, and you have to spend 300 Rand or like 15 pounds or like $20 or whatever on a book, you want to be sure that that book is going to be fire, because there's nothing worse than spending your hard-earned dollars, your hard-earned randellas on something and then it completely sucks. Like, that for me is the worst feeling. It's happened to me quite a few times actually, conjure women, where I spend my money on something and then I don't like it. So I use book sales like this, where things are much cheaper. Exclusive Books does this a lot. Bargain Books also has a sales section that I peruse whenever I'm near Bargain Books, because I use this section to try new writers, and I always find books that I've been thinking about reading, that I've seen on Bookstagram, or I've read about, and they've been on my radar, that I haven't been able to 100% be sure to commit to. But if I find a book for like 60 Rand, or in this case for 30 Rand, I'm 100% gonna get it, because then I can try it, and if I love it, fantastic, I just bought a new favorite book for 30 Rand. If I hate it, whatever, I spend 30 Rand and I can just resell or give that book away, and it's not going to be a huge change spend, because 30 Rand versus the 360 Rand that I spent on The Conjure Women, I will never stop talking about this book, that I end up hating. It's a huge difference, right? So I ended up driving to Eastgate, right, to go to the store. So I get there, I timed it completely wrong, because I ended up getting there, the queue was stretching outside the mall, guys. Like, it was outside the shop. It was crazy. So obviously with COVID, they're only letting like a certain amount of people inside the store, which is actually a good thing, social distancing, whatever. So then I ended up standing in the queue for a full an hour and a half, like a whole hour and a half, bro. And it ended up being worth it. But like, luckily I had an audiobook with me. I was listening to Meaty, Essays by Samantha Irby, which, by the way, really funny, really enjoying it. Samantha Irby is just like, I really like her. Like, she has the kind of energy and the kind of vibe that I could really fucks with. Anyway, so I'm listening to this book on audio. So hour and a half passes, and then I only get into the store, and then I spent another hour because nothing in the shop is organized. All the books are just sitting wherever. So you have to peruse every single shelf piece by piece to find the stuff you like. You can't even just like go to a specific section with a specific genre that you gravitate towards, which for me I found to be like really, it's a good thing, because then it forces you to try new things and to look around, and you actually catch things. Because like, I'm a visual person, so I found stuff like one or two things where the cover just drew me, and I was just like, oh, okay, this looks interesting. Read the back, I was like, oh, okay, let's do it. Do you know what I mean? Okay, so let me walk you guys through. I think I got about 10, 15 books. I think I got 15 books, but some of them are not for me, so they're not in this haul. So let me show you guys the 10 books that I picked up for 10 Rand each, for 30 Rand each. So I spent 300 Rand on 10 books. Let's do it. Also, before we start, quick admin. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, follow me on @PrettyBookish, like this video, comment below, engage with me on social media if you have any questions, and follow me on Twitter if you feel like wasting your time. Okay, so the first book that I found is like, guys, for 30 Rand, I got Home by Toni Morrison, which is just like, guys, this book at Exclusive Books, I know this because I was actually at Exclusive Books, the actual store, because I wanted to beef up my Toni Morrison collection, but I decided to hold off until I actually am going to read them. This book was like 190 Rand at Exclusive Books. It was 30 Rand at the sale. It is not damaged at all. It's like perfect. I also really like these covers. The thing is, okay, no, I like my original covers because I have these covers, but then they only come up to a certain number of books because Toni Morrison, her body of work, I think the first 6 novels came out and then the last 5 novels came out, I think, like late in the 2000s. So they don't have the same, they don't have like the white version of these books of like Home and I think A Mercy, Love, and God Help the Child, I think doesn't come in those. So I wanted to get these so that I can at least have only 2 competing sets. I don't want my books to be like a wild variety of covers. So I managed to pick this up for 30 Rand. Really, really happy. I just want to have all Toni Morrison's books, so that was great. Another book that I picked up that I was just like, oh my goodness, I'm having such great luck with this series was The Stone Sky by NK Jemisin for 30 Rand. So you guys know, if you follow me on Instagram, that I picked up Eastgate at Bargain Books for 60 Rand. My mom found it at the Bargain Books in Belito. So I was just like, oh my god, yes, book 2, because I've read 5th season last year. I really enjoyed it. I really want to finish the series this year. It's one of the book series that I have scheduled to finish in 2021. So finding the last book in the trilogy for 30 Rand, I was just like, honestly, my ancestors, they showed up for work today. So I was just really happy to find this. Yeah, so this is another book that I was really excited to get at the sale. The next book that I found was Wake Me When I'm Gone by Odafe Atogun. It's he's a Nigerian writer. First of all, how gorgeous is this hardback? Guys, this hardback was 30 Rand. Please understand. It's absolutely gorgeous and it was 30 Rand. So I got this hardback edition. I'm going to keep saying hardback edition because I'm feeling really, 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 really cool about the fact that I got this hardback edition for 30 Rand. Okay, so this book is basically a Nigerian writer. He's one of the writers that's been on my radar. I just don't have any of his work. So when I saw this, I was like, absolutely. I don't know if any of you have read this. Just let me know in the comments. I haven't read any of his work. I think he wrote, his other book is called Taduno's Song. So let me know if you've read this, but I was really, really excited to get this one. So happy about this one. Okay, so next up we have another hardback classic, The Remains of the Day by Kazuo Ishigaru. I have never read any of Kazuo's work. He's like Japanese, the canon. He's like iconic Japanese literature. I haven't read any Japanese literature, and I was just thinking to myself, you know what, I need to get myself together. I found this in hardback for 30 Rand, and it's one of these spines that matches the, I have the Chinua Achebe of these Everyman classics. If you can see that spine is gorgeous. I think I showed you guys the Achebe one that I have. I was just like, if I saw this, I saw it for 30 Rand, I was like, I have to have it, because first of all, even if I end up never reading this book, I want to collect this Everyman editions. I think there's one from Doris Lessing and Toni Morrison that I want to get, and there's also Gabriel Garcia Marquez has one of these in this Everyman classic editions, because I just think they're going to look so beautiful on my shelf. So pick this up for 30 Rand. Really, really excited about this one again. Hardback. Hey, because me, I have all the luck. Then the next book that I picked up was Mansfield Park by Jane Austen. Love this. I have these editions are actually like, they're like 190, 200 Rand at exclusive books. I know this because I actually just got, my dad just got me Emma in the same editions for Christmas. So I actually want to get all 6 of her novels in this. I know if you guys follow, you know I have Sense and Sensibility and Persuasion in a different like soft hardback, really beautiful editions. But those editions don't have all the books. And I'm really big on having a collection of Jane Austen. I really want to have a collection of Jane Austen books that match. And I love these covers. I don't know how, let me see. Yeah, there we go. So I love these covers because I love the like simplicity of them, and I think they're gonna look so cute because the spines are all gonna match. So I was really happy to pick this up for 30 Rand. It's also one of the 3 Jane Austen novels that I haven't read, which is Emma, Northanger Abbey, and Mansfield Park. So, and 2021, I want to finish Jane Austen's body of work. So this is another one that I'm really excited to have because I really want to finish reading this, and to pick it up for 30 Rand, I was just like, bruh, what a steal. Then the other book that I picked up at the sale was The Tenant of Wildfell Hall, The Tenant of Wildfell Hall by Anne Bronte. I've read Charlotte Bronte and I love Charlotte Bronte, and I've never read any of Anne Bronte's work, so I really wanted to pick this up. I also like the cover. It was super simple. I've been wanting to read more of like the English classics and not like the old white man classics, but I want to read Jane Austen, the Bronte sisters, those kinds of like, I I know a lot of people are just like, the classics are not, like, I don't look at them as like, oh, the iconic canon of literature. I just really, really like old school Victorian shade. Like, I just love it. It's like, you know, in Bridgerton, like, I say this all the time, but Pride and Prejudice, that scene, have the shades of Pemberley been thus polluted? I am obsessed. So I really like this kind of like old-timey British book. So was really happy to pick this up for 30 Rand as well. It's going to look great on my shelf. Great addition to the collection. Then the other book that I picked up is one that I've seen a lot of people read, and a lot of people love this book. I've only watched the movie, and that is The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stefan Chbosky. I have never read the book for some weird reason. I love the movie. I thought it was just, oh, it was so sweet. And a lot of people say that this book is just so good. So I just picked it up because it was 30 Rand, and I thought to myself, you know what? This is one of those things that I actually do want to read. And if I don't end up ever reading it, I do actually just want to own this book and put it on my shelf, because I think this is a great book that, I think this is one of those books that if it's on my shelf, people are going to want to read it, and I want to borrow it to people. I actually might also put it in my e-library if I feel like it. Yeah, maybe I'll put it in my e-library, because it's one of those books that I think a lot of people are interested in reading. But also, I really like this cover. It's the 20th anniversary edition. So I'm really excited about it. And apparently it has extra material, more material than the first one. So I'm really excited about that as well. The next book is this random book that I saw. I don't know. I think I saw somebody read it on Instagram. Can't remember at all. But it's called The Pisces by Melissa Broder. I've never even heard of Melissa Broder, really. I think I saw some, I can't really remember who was reading this book, but it's just one of those books. This is the book I was talking about, where I said I saw the cover and I was just like, oh my god, this looks interesting. Then I read the back and I was just like, it's got elements of Greek mythology and Greek history. I am ready. So I think it's sort of a romance. So here it says, it describes it as an uproariously funny, gloriously strange, fiercely original tale of love, obsession, sex, and a merman. I mean, guys, a merman, I'm ready. Actually, you know what? I need to schedule this for February. Anyway, this book I just picked up because the cover was beautiful, and when I read the synopsis and it was alluding to like kind of like Greek choruses, and it was alluding to like kind of like elements of Greek mythology, I was just like, you guys know how I feel about that. So I was just like, have to have this, definitely getting it done and done. The next book that I got, and I saw this as I was leaving, and I was just like, have to have it, is Don't Call Us Dead by Denise Smith. It's a poetry collection. Denise Smith is beloved by Bookstagram. Like, everybody on Bookstagram loves Denise Smith. Like, I've only heard great things, and I don't have any of his poetry. And the thing about poetry for me is that, like, I always struggle with it. It's very hit and miss for me. So finding someone like a book like this that everybody loves, but finding it for so cheap so that I can check if I like Denise Smith without like committing to paying like 250, 300 Rand. This is the thing. There's a cover of this. There's a version of this book that I like the cover. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to read this. And if I love it, then I'll just repurchase it in like a slightly more expensive version. Then I'll probably like do a giveaway or sell this one. But I just wanted to try first, because I don't want to commit myself to poetry, because I've had many mistakes happen with poetry, to the point where now I just like wait for the next Upile Chisala book to come out, and I don't, and like waiting for Kollega Putuma's next one to come out. I don't really mess with poetry that much. So yeah, this is the next one that I picked up. Then the last book that I got was a book called A Land of Permanent Goodbyes by Atiya Abawi. It is also beautifully in hardback, which is really exciting, for 30 Rand. So this book I picked up because, one, the cover intrigued me. Two, I have realized that I have very little Middle Eastern, Asian, and Latin American writers on my shelf. This is something that I want to rectify. So this book is about a family that is living in a war-torn country, and basically how they become refugees, and the kind of experience of how they move from place to place, and how the family itself tries to stay together, and how the challenges that they meet and stuff like that. I really like these kinds of books, because I think the migrant/refugee experience is something that everybody should read about, because it is honestly one of the most heartbreaking things, and I think we should all stay very, very woke about this, because it could really happen to anybody, and there are people living and like overcoming the most insurmountable odds. So I really like those kinds of books, and I just thought hardback, so yes, definitely wanted to get. Okay, so that's it. Those are the 10 books that I picked up for myself. I was really excited to get them. All of those books that I just spoke about, I got them all for 300 Rand, which is just like insane. So yeah, let me know if you've read any of these in the comments, or if you like any of these. or if any of these are on your wish list or on your radar, I want to know. And also don't forget to subscribe to my channel and follow me on Instagram on @prettyxbookish. Like this video, comment below, let me know what you think, let me know what other videos you guys are interested in me making. I hope you guys have a really good day for the rest of your day, and enjoy yourself and go read tons and tons of books. Okay,